wine tanks, pad filters, and transfer pumps. Hey there, this is Matt DiDonato with Prospero Equipment Corporation. In this discussion, I will talk about wine tanks, pad filters, and transfer pumps. So let's dig into it. For the smaller scale winery, I will show some tanks to start with and then build up in size from there. Here are two of the more common versions. These are our SU flat bottom stainless steel tanks and our SLU stainless steel tanks with legs. The tanks are for storage, rackings, and filtering of the wine. The tanks are not meant for fermentation of red grape must inside the tanks. These tanks range from 100-liter size, approximately 25 gallons, up to 1,000-liter sizes, approximately 265 gallons. The flat bottom tanks come with a 1.5-inch drain port to pump wine in and out of the tank. It is a very simple, economical tank. The SLU version, which is the tank on legs, has some additional ports which greatly help the winemaking process. This tank comes with a 1.5-inch drain port to pump in and out of the tank, a 1.5-inch racking port to rack off sediment at the bottom during rackings, and a sample tap port to do testings and tastings. Both tanks are variable capacity, meaning the tanks come with an adjustable lid, so you can seal off the wine with the adjustable lid and bladder. The one con of the variable lids is the gasket around the lid needs to be watched and checked. If you get a pinhole leak in the gasket, you need to replace it immediately so your wine is not exposed to the open air. Most of these smaller tanks don't come with coolant jackets. For those that don't know, a coolant jacket is essentially a stainless steel jacket around the tank to pump a coolant solution through, like glycol, to keep the tank's temperature maintained. A glycol chiller unit is required to pump coolant through. On the smaller scale, most wineries will rely on the building's temperature to maintain temperature, but it is not ideal. Cold stabilization cannot be achieved unless the winery brings the winery outside on a cold winter day or has a cold box. The smallest size tank that could come with a jacket is the 1,000-liter or 265-gallon size, which comes in a SLU version with legs below. Once we get over the 1,000-liter or 265-gallon size, we will go with something like this shown here. These are the commercial style tanks with coolant jackets, adjustable legs, and manway doors. There are 4 versions to discuss. All tanks will have the same 3 major ports as we reviewed on the SLU tanks, the drain port, racking port, and sample tap, but some additional features are added which we will review. Variable red version. This tank is for fermented red wine must inside the tank, as well as storage, so it has a dual purpose. As you can see here, the tank has a bottom door, so you can ferment must in the tank, and when fermentation is done, you can pull out the grape must out the bottom door. The tank bottom is sloped towards this door to easily pull the must out. A must pump or bin can slide under the door to transfer into the wine press. There is also an oval manway side door which can be used for cleaning, and when racking the wine, the door can be used to see the sediment inside the level from the clean wine. Another version shown here is our variable white wine tank. As you can see here, there is no bottom door, so the tank is only meant for fermentation of white juice, storage of wine, rackings, or blended. No grape must can go in this tank. The tank does have the oval manway door shown here for rackings and cleavings, however. The 2 other versions shown here are the same, but in the fixed top versions. Instead of having a variable lid, these fixed top or closed top versions have the advantage of filling the tank up all the way, so you don't have to worry about watching for leaks in the variable lid gaskets. If you don't fill these tanks up all the way though, you have to gas out the headspace with CO2 or nitrogen. Fixed top versus variable capacity is a common debate in the wine industry, which is better, and usually a preference by the winemaker. All the fixed versions have a top manway door for access from the top for pumping over grape must and cleaning. Here is our fixed white versions for juice only. No must can go inside this tank. And the fixed red version shown here is for must fermentation, storage, and juice. Additional features and sizing. For the 4 tanks here, all these tanks come with standard dual zone coolant jackets, so proper temperature can be maintained for each tank desired by the winemaker. A glycol chiller unit is also required to pump the coolant through the system. Each tank also comes with thermometer wells to give a temperature reading of the temperature inside each tank. Tanks can also be equipped with clean-in-place lines, level indicators to tell the level inside, pump over tubes to pump over the grape must, and a punch down device if desired. Size ranges from 320 up to 3,000 gallons, and we can go above that amount if desired as well. Upon request, we can also make customized tanks to fit a certain facility or add on certain customized features. A catwalk system can also be used if desired and the budget permits. A catwalk system will allow the winemaker for ease of use during winemaking for additions, cleaning, and muscat management. Wine tank recap. SU and SLU tanks for smaller size wineries from 25 gallons up to 265 gallon sizes. SLU 1,000 liter or 265 gallon models to have the optional cooling jacket add-on if desired. 320 gallon and above come in our variable red, variable white, fixed red, and fixed white versions. Tanks can be custom made to spec if desired. Custom features can be added, such as pump over tubes, punch down devices, CIP lines, and more. Catwalk systems available for ease of use during the winemaking process. Transfer pump. For transfers out of the tanks, this is the recommended pump shown here. This pump is our VFN Medex model, which has 1.5-inch triclover ports and is great for moving wine and for filtering wine. The pump is equipped with a remote control for ease of use to go forward, reverse, and speed up or slow down the flow. These pumps can build up to 3 bar head pressure, so it is the ideal pump to work with a pad filter as the pressure rises during filtration. The VFN Medex pump can pump up to 25 gallons per minute. If desired, this pump can also come in a forward reverse speed option with no variable speed if the budget is tighter. A larger 2-inch or 3-inch pump can be used for larger volumes if desired. Pad filters. Pad filters come in 20, 30, and 40 plate models, and larger if desired. 20 and 30 plates are the most common. The pad filters are meant to filter out any sediment, yeast, and bacteria to a certain point. There's also something called a membrane filter that is considered an absolute filter that is to be used during the bottling process to guarantee all the yeast and bacteria have been properly filtered from the wine. Most smaller wineries will have a pad filter and membrane filter in the winery. The pad filters can also be set up with something called a double filtration plate. This gives the winemaker a chance to save some time and effort by doing 2 filtrations at once. You can split the plates in half and do 2 filtrations in one run. For example, say you have a 20 plate model. You can do the first 10 plates at 5 micron filter pads, and then put this double filtration in the middle, and the last 10 plates can be a 1 micron pad size. So you can do 2 filtrations in one single pass. This saves the winemaker time and energy. These filters are easy to use and maintain as there are no motors or electronics on the units itself. You would simply hook up the VFN Medex pump to the inlet side of the filter, and the pump pushes the wine through the filtration system. The filtration pads are sold separately from a filter pad company. They will give recommended size and pads based on the wine you are filtering.